So now what I want to do, though, is I really want to create a gallery using the Iron Orchid molds, using the Kindest Regards stamp again, but I'm going to be using a different color. And I've already made a bunch of the molds. And I'll do one for you guys in case you missed how to make the Iron Orchid molds. But first thing I want to mention before I get to all this goodness, all this crafty goodness, is that some artisans, some other artisans, decorative painters, furniture painters, and I have created a new Facebook group, and it's called The Painted Cottage. It is up and it's live. So go over to The Painted Cottage, and it's connected to my Surface Anthology page if you have a hard time finding it, and request to be in the group because we're going to be doing a workshop. All of us decorative painters in this group are going to be hosting a workshop. The date will be announced within the Facebook group, and it's a Winter Wonderland workshop. So I am super excited about it. So head on over to The Painted Cottage, request to be in the group, and you'll get all the details. And we're all really excited about it, so I hope you join us. All right, now back to my little gallery, like a miniature gallery wall. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm working it horizontally for the camera, but I think when it's hung, it's going to be hung vertically. It just fits into the shot, and it's easier for me to work on it like this. So we're going to apply, and I'm using chalk paint, but I'm using a lighter gray today. So I'm going to take, I've got just a sheet of clear plastic. I've got my brayer, which when I'm doing this kind of thing, I can't live without. And I just need to put a little bit of this paint down. And it's a really pale gray, and that's what I want. I don't want a dark gray because we're going to be doing a lot to this little miniature gallery wall or gallery tray over the next few days. So I have a vision. All right, so you just roll the chalk paint onto your brayer. And then I'm actually gonna make a little room for myself here. So I need to get the tray out of the way so I can load up. And usually I have this on a piece of plastic that it came with actually, but because the tray is narrower than the stamp, I need to have it be flexible. All right. And you just roll on the chalk paint. This is very satisfying, getting it all covered like this. Okay, so there you go. And of course, this sticks down to the plastic. Move this out of the way. And then I'm just gonna lay this down. Hopefully I can do it. And there we go. So I laid it inside of the tray. And because I don't have it on a piece of plastic, I'm actually touching, it's like silicone. My fingers don't slide over it very easily. So I'm just pressing. And I'm not really interested in this being perfect. If I was, I would mask off the sides here so that I wouldn't get any of this, the paint on it, the stamp. All right. Ooh, let me get down here. And look at that, isn't that beautiful? It's just this really pale script. And now I'm gonna do just a little bit more on the bottom. And I think I'm gonna have this top part. So again, roll out the stamp. And let's place it on the bottom. And I might do a little overlapping here. And you know what? If you do this and you don't like the way that it looks, you could paint right over and do it again. That is the nice thing about working with these products and working with chalk paint. It's really, really easy to correct any kind of mistakes. All right, so there it is. So that's my script, and you see it made some little blobs here, but I'm gonna be lightly sanding this. So I'm just not really worried about it. So let me get this out of the way. I'm gonna grab my blow dryer and dry this really quickly. All right, that feels good. And now, where did I put my sanding block? Ah, there it is. So I'm just using the super fine sanding block that's already been used. I just want to soften this very, very little. So up and down and back and forth, and that's it. And wipe away any dust. You could use your blow dryer for this too. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is, actually I'm going to show you guys how to use the mold again really fast. I'll just do one because I have a whole bunch already made. Which one should we do? Let's do, I like to do things in threes. So I'm going to do the big, I'm going to do this one, which I really love. So you need your mold, you need your iron orchid. I'm using the air dry clay, which I really love. Some people use resin. You could do that. I have never used it. But there's all kinds of really good tutorials like on YouTube. Okay, and I smack any excess cornstarch out because these new ones are super detailed. And I don't want anything to kind of muck that up. So I'm gonna grab a nice big hank of this air dry clay. And I roll it in my hands. And then, ooh, and you know what I didn't bring? I wonder if I have anything I can use over here. You need to have like a plastic, a credit card, or I like to use the little burnishing tool that comes with the transfers. Don't use anything metal because it'll really mess up your mold. All right, I'm gonna just push this all the way in. And these are detailed, so you wanna take your time and make sure you have your clay pushed all the way into the little nooks and crannies all the way around the mold. Let me see if I can use my brush. Yep. Do as I say, not as I do, but I'm using the end of my brush in a pinch here, and I'm just holding it. You would hold your tool flat and kind of start at the middle and get rid of that excess clay and save all that clay, obviously. And I just work my way around. Like this. All right. Add this to my clay. Keep your clay really, really airtight. That is super important because when it dries out, you can't use it. All right, all you do, you turn it right out and look at how that comes out so easily. They're beautiful. These molds are absolutely gorgeous. So now what I want to do is create, let's see, there we go. Create my kind of gallery. And everything looks white now because it all is, but it's going to be painted. So now we're composing, or I'm composing. So I've got these shapes already made. And of course this little round one. And I put them on pieces of cardboard because it's just easier to move them around. These can be glued on wet. In fact, that's what we want to do. If you let these dry, even on a flat surface like this, and then you try to glue them on this surface, which you think is flat, and they're like two hard surfaces coming together but not making good contact. So it's best to glue them on wet, and I'm using regular old Elmer's glue today. So I'm gonna grab my Elmer's, make room as always, and I'm using a brush. I just have this little natural bristle brush that I use for gluing, and of course another piece of cardboard to put my glue down. You can use, I also love Elmer's wood glue. There's all kinds of great glues. And this is just what I happen to have here now. And I ran out of my Elmer's wood glue. Okay. So where do I want these to be? Let's see. I could start, and you can place these. They're not as delicate as they look, especially I might have been kind of sitting for about 10 minutes now. So you could kind of move them around. And actually look what I'm doing. I'm turning this into a horizontal design. So let's change that, Jane, so it doesn't go with our script. And this is really the fun part. And there's no making mistakes. There's no mistakes. In fact, this is large, so I'm going to put this down like this. You could kind of move your pieces around. It's one of the beautiful Cameo. And by the way, if any of you are in the Merry Makers subscription box, the Ornaments of the Month subscription box. God, November's box is going to be a bunch of Iron Orchid stuff. And one of the things that's going to be is the Cameo mold. So we're going to be making these absolutely gorgeous ornaments next month. And you have until the end of this month to get in on that. Just go to surfaceanthology.com and you could go to the Merry Makers tab and join. And this is another one. I haven't used this one yet. It's like roses. And I might put that in there. So I've got 3 of these, and they might look, I don't know how that's going to look. But this is the fun of it. You just put these down and kind of move them around. I think what I want to do is move this over here. This little one over like that. And the nice thing about this, while you see me moving my stuff around and creating my composition, these take a while to dry. So you've got a nice window of time to play around with your molds, get them where you want them. And I think for me, the challenge is doing this horizontally, knowing it's going to be a vertical piece. And I might, what do I have here? I don't have a lot left. There's all these little itsy bitsy baby pieces in the Cameo mold that you can make jewelry with, but you can also put them down like this as just little accents. All right, I'm gonna show you how to glue. And then I'm going to keep playing with this off camera because I'm going to be back again tomorrow to do the next step, which is going to be kind of embellishing these molds, playing around with the finish and doing some really cool stuff. So let me show you, and I'll post pictures of what my final composition is. How to glue these down. Let's do the most difficult one first, which is our frame like this. So I just grab my natural bristle brush. It's a little stiff to handle the glue. And I really apply a good amount of glue all over the back of your mold. Just like this. And just make sure you have your hands supporting the area underneath that you're applying the glue. Okay, you can also make little marks if you need to do that to place your molds. I'm going to turn this around. Place it like that. Wipe my hands off. And just press down. Now I'm going to turn this quickly so I can see that it is going in the direction that I want. And you see I can move these around. And I just want to take out that little blob of glue. But that's it, you guys. It's so easy. So I'm going to mess around with my composition off camera. Any questions at all, please ask in the comments. And if you're watching this in the replay, when I get the entire project done, I always take it and I go put it onto YouTube, the Surface Anthology YouTube channel. And then I'll put all the videos together and then you can watch the whole thing. But look at how cool that is. And it's really easy. This took me all of, 15 minutes. So join me tomorrow and make sure, if you're interested in the Merry Makers Ornaments of the Month box, and this month is an amazing box. It is, you order it this month, it goes out by the 8th of November. And you're going to be getting a full-size mold, a full-size clay, and a whole bunch of other stuff. And we're going to be making some beautiful cameo ornaments. So I just can't wait. It's just so exciting. And remember to also go to the Painted Cottage Facebook group. Look that up, the Painted Cottage. A bunch of decorative painters and I are going to be doing a Winter Wonderland workshop. So to get in on that, you need to join the group and we'll put all the details in there. All right, you guys, happy painting. I'll see you tomorrow as we continue with our project.